Hey, I'm FTFE. Welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what's about to happen to the jobs of the system engineers that work for Facebook. Yeah, this nearly didn't happen because I had no way to contact the person I was speaking to because Facebook kind of imploded. Apparently, Mark Zuckerberg has lost over $12 billion off of his personal fortune because Facebook was down for 7 hours. Don't worry, he's got plenty more, that Android guy. Anyway, welcome to Monday Night Debates. I hope you are all having a decent start to your week, and I hope you are going to enjoy the show that we have. We have a new challenger, someone who's not been on before. He's been around the Facebook groups. He is an engineer. He says he understands applied mathematics, and I'm very excited to have a debate with somebody that can understand the maths, because as you all know, that is a very rare thing in a flat earther. And Trey, hello, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for joining. Why don't you just take a couple of minutes, introduce yourself, and explain why you think the Earth is flat?
Okay, well, I'm from Georgia, which is not a place you would really expect, especially South Georgia. You wouldn't expect someone to really be into applied mathematics or actually engineering, or, well, you'd figure that'd be a flat earther, honestly. But the reason that I actually became a flat earther was actually just looking at the models, some of the similar models that actually talk about the way that light moves in a vacuum, which is a constant speed, stuff like that. And you know that things just really didn't make sense with the accumulation data of the actual amount of time versus the time that's set. So 14 billion years, my bad, to actually create the Big Bang and all. This is a continuous time, partial derivative that equals 0. Only once does it equal greater than, and that depends on if your actual surface inside of this enclosure, I'll make a better version of that. Let's look inside the enclosure. Okay, let's get inside the enclosure. There. That's your enclosure. This is what we're going to call C. This is C. Okay. And then you have inside of this enclosure, you have two blobs. They call them. This is the way the equation says. Two blobs. So you have a blob there and a blob there. Okay. This is your A blob. This is your B blob. Okay. Probably terrible writing. But anyway. Your A blob projects 100% of its light. Okay. And C, so we're going to say 100% of its light is ejected. Since B is convex or concave, it's going to be inward. It doesn't actually project light or radiation, sorry, not light. It doesn't project radiation because it's concave. So it doesn't go in a straight line. However, A creates 100% of its light, goes in a straight line. C is also concave on the inside. It's a dome, essentially. Think of it that way. So it doesn't create as much. So this 100% of light is inside of this whole system, or radiation, not light. It fuels this whole system. That is used as your base factor to equal this right here. Your factor for your convex is F A 2 equals 0. Okay. That's for your okay, that's for your convex model. So BEX for that. Then you have your concave model, CAVE, CON. Okay, your concave equals FA 2A is greater than 0. Okay, so that is your part of the system that you're always going to have. You either have a greater than or you're less than. The way that you get your equation to be accepted in the scientific community is if you could come up with enough stochastic probability distributions, which are random. These are all random. These are random. They also can equal 0, but if you use eigenfunctions, which we could call D up here, I forgot a little paper, but anyway, eigenfunctions are the only way that you can change these along with Laplace operators. So if you have an eigenfunction, which is an equation function, linear operator, it's going to equal D. Okay, defined on a function space in any non-zero function. So the only time you could have a non-zero function is if you have a concave radiator, which is, your concave sun. Or convex sun, I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. I have a mix up. Nervous, but still, yes. Only if you have one that directs 100% of the slide. So, the only way that you can actually change the linear operator.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
And this is done as a indicator for your F. Here, I hope you can see it. And then your C. So you have your function inside of this E, which is your unity, C. And you have your other variable here for 1. And then you have J down here, which equals 1. So when you add all 3 of these together, these equal 3. Because that's unity. Unity is the function in mathematics that all these zeros and these Laplace indicators and these stochastic random probabilities are thrown in. Once they're thrown in, you're then taking this and you're splitting it to make it 0. Round earth theory is a fairly new idea, being that it was passed around a long time, and it was patented actually in I believe on 1986. The patent on the globe Earth was actually made, the first patent, and it was patented as a wrong model, but it made for a good setup to explain the Earth.
Sorry, would you just repeat that? Sorry, the round Earth theory you said was patented when?
The round Earth theory actually started back with, the heliocentric model in Greece. Okay. It died down for a little bit. It died down because of something that a lot of people speculate over. Perhaps it was the destruction of Rome in 70 AD. I know that there was a lot of people that during the Renaissance and everything, like that wasn't the huge, like big reveal of like the ball earth and stuff like that. It really took hold about the 1800s. But actually the I believe it was Euclides and Plato and a lot of the older Greek philosophers believed in the power of objects. So,
so what was it you said about patented in 1918? I wanted to make sure I got that right.
Yeah, it was patented. It actually was patented, but it was considered it was not correct at all, but it was actually allowed to be put into teaching people. It was like a little globe that collapsed. It was a folding globe that's created. I'm looking it up right now to see if I forgot what it's called. It's a plate tectonic earth model. And this tectonic earth model, which I looked up, even your plate tectonics aren't based off of gravity. None of this is based off of gravity. It's actually based off of halite tectonics, which is salt, and your salt wells and salt domes beneath the earth. A lot of people don't know that salt actually makes up a good bit. It's not loading, but yeah, you can check me on it. It's just a patent. It was patented in man, I want to say it was like 1870, 1880. But anyway, or it might be 1898 or 1902. It's like 5 or 6 different, I can't remember. But there's a bunch of different models for the globe Earth that are patented. There's no patent on the flat Earth, but there's a lot of patents for actually vehicles that move through a viscous substance over a flat plane domed inside of a viscous actual medium. Like we're swimming right now. Like the medium between me and this computer, you know as well, is air. And air pressure, up and down are still like vertical. Vertical is something that actually would exist inside of the dome too. South, we're not allowed to go south. And essentially what people did was they went to colleges, to schools to learn multiple languages, to learn Latin, which was a dead language. It was a dead language. No one spoke it. But this language taught some of the most prominent physicists, psychologists, mathematicians, philosophers. They all read this, and you would think it would be okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's enlightenment. But this enlightenment does one thing. It causes people to control each other. They begin to then turn and see what they can do. When someone believes something so intensely that they will basically destroy someone so that their viewpoint is damaged. That's a religion. Everything I've said holds true. From the mathematics to, because I can't prove with the camera, I can't prove with not feeling your spin. I'm not here to teach that. I'm not here to discuss that. I'm here to ask why these models are necessary. They're not necessary if you're telling the truth. Yeah, math creates lie. Math solidifies the lie. We believe that we exploded from nothing, and there's fire. Fire is what causes, well, you know, your thermal reaction, your thermodynamics in this viscous
Fire
fluid.
causes thermodynamics.
But everything, if you stop and look at it, can be explained through God.
Right, I'm gonna be frank with you here. I've got a degree in physics and a degree in engineering. I understand maths, and
Are you retarded?
what's the derivative of x squared?
Oh, derivative. You mean inverse? The inverse? It was zero.
No, I mean, what's the derivative of x squared?
The derivative of x squared is x times itself equals 1.
You gotta light a flurf.
To demonstrate that you don't understand what you've put on that board, I asked you, as an engineer, one of the most simple, derivatives that you could, well, two of the most simple derivatives that you could have, 10x with respect to x and the derivative of x squared, and you got both of them wrong, which leads me to the conclusion that you don't understand what you've put on that board yourself.
You're a liar. You're
How am I a liar? In what way am I a liar?
Straight up. You asked me the first. I said 10. I wasn't even paying attention.
Then you said 1.
And said your time started yet. You're debunking. You're not debunking. You're trying to just make this look like gibberish. What
Yeah,
I said
it is gibberish. That is my point. Nothing on that board makes coherent sense.
What I showed you is the truth. The reason the math is there is to make people like you feel like they're smarter.
No,
That's what it's there
the
for.
math isn't there to make people like me feel smarter. Maths is a description of reality. That's simply all it is.
It's literally you're creating zero from. Why do you even have to have these applied? Why? If the model is the same, why do
you don't have to have the variables that you stated in all models.
Oh, well, meteor showers are real. Meteoroids are real. Okay, look up how many meteor rounds are used by the Navy, the Air Force, and they're actually
how many meteor rounds are used by the Navy and Air Force?
Yeah, like how many? They're called meteor rounds. They're
Excuse me, I was in the Royal Navy, and I do not know what a meteor round is. I see Schrodinger's cat in the chat, who was in the American Navy. Do you know what a meteor round is?
Is gravity a factor? No. Because gravity is the
Gravity's a
force.
factor in all of engineering.
Where is it engineered in rockets? Where is it used in?
Where is gravity engineered? Have you seen the rocket equation?
Okay, I will bring you a model to describe this.
But I don't think you understand what a model is.
I do understand. I think you don't understand what anything I said it.
Well, that's because nothing you said makes any sense mathematically or model-wise.
I'm the guy that knows nothing about mathematics. Fine.
I mean,
I know nothing about mathematics.
Whatever. Yeah, which confuses me as to why you just read that entire script and wrote that on the board.
I don't have to prove anything to you because I've already proven it to myself.
That's not how things work.
Yes, it is. It's how it works in science.
Just what does a fictitious force mean?
Fictitious.
Wait, hold on. You told me that you're an engineer. Please describe a fictitious force.
You describe a fictitious force.
I know exactly what a fictitious force is. You're the one that said that you're an engineer. Please describe to me and the 600, 700 people watching what a fictitious force is.
Come on, Mr.
Are fictitious forces real?
No.
Why did you lie about being an engineer?
I am a fucking engineer. Are you a real physicist?
No, I'm not a physicist. I have a degree in physics. That I'm not a physicist. Does centrifugal acceleration, does centrifugal force exist?
Well, that depends on if you want to discuss it in a fluid factor, being the fluid factor of a revolving Earth and the oceans.
No. Just in general, does centrifugal force exist? Can I calculate a centrifugal force?
I swing it, and inside of a fluid, which actually centrifugal force is documented as being the fluid acting on the actual object.
No, it's not. You don't know what centrifugal force is either, which is amazing. But it's a simple question. Is centrifugal force real? Yes or no?
No, it's not. It's a fictitious force as well.
Right, but can you calculate what it is? When you're on that fairground ride that's spinning and sticking you to the outside, can you feel something sticking you to the outside? Does centrifugal force not exist? Fictitious force doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means it is the result of something else. Another way to describe it is as an emergent force.
You don't want to hear my point. You don't want to hear my point.
You haven't made any points. You literally made 0 points in your 15 minutes. You wrote a bunch of mathematical jargon on the board, and then you said math creates a lie, and then you said that, right, then you got the Big Bang wrong. It wasn't an explosion. No one says it's an explosion. Then you got what happens with a star wrong. You said it explodes and makes helium. That's not really how it works.
The Big Bang is nothing more than more Kabbalistic lies.
No, it's a fact with evidence to support it.
Oh, is it a fact? It's not a theory, is it? It's a fact.
Yes, it is. Oh my God. Are you going to say that you don't know what a scientific theory is? Because then I'm going to really point and laugh at you.
Oh, let me guess. You know what else is a theory? The tooth fairy. You think the tooth fairy...
The tooth fairy is not a theory, you fucking moron. There is no flat Earth model that can describe everything. That's the problem. A model needs to be able to make prediction. Right, shush for a sec. Right, you obviously need a physics lesson, so shush for a sec. A model needs to accurately describe and predict things that can happen. The flat Earth model cannot make any predictions that are accurate.
As I stated earlier, Kabbalah showed you a way to create a problem and solve it at the same time.
Cool story, bro. Why didn't you present any evidence in your 15 minutes that the Earth is flat?
Why? Right. What? You're going to take my word? Like, you can't take my word? I have to take your word that the Earth was round. I had to do it.
No. I asked, it was quite clear. I asked you to present 3 bits of the strongest evidence for the Earth being flat. And you didn't do any of them. You didn't present any evidence that the Earth is flat. Why is there no pictures of God ever? Why has God never spoken to anyone?
I have pictures of Earth from space. It's not a real image.
So you say, but the camera it was taken with and the negatives that exist disagree with you.
Yeah, of course they would. Because what would happen if your globe model is destroyed? You have nothing left but God. That's the point.
Yeah, again, unless you can show me a picture of God, I don't think he's relevant in the discussion. Plus, and I say this quite often, if there is a God, then he is a petty, vindictive cunt. Which branch of engineering do you have a degree in?
Applied mathematics.
No. Which branch of engineering do you have a degree in?
Mechanical engineering.
You've got a degree in mechanical engineering.
Yes. You don't know about the
silver. I thought you were talking about the gyroscope. So the silver, the coated mirror, simply splits the beam into two paths.
Exactly. That's my point. Okay. Well, if you pay attention to the actual magnetic properties of silver, you know that anything that comes in contact with photons and electrons, what happens?
Photons, light itself has zero charge, so it would be unaffected by electromagnetic properties.
That's zero charge. Okay. What about a laser?
Light has zero charge. It's light. Light has zero charge. Laser is a light. It has zero charge.
It does. It has zero charge.
Yes, light has zero charge.
Light is energy. This guy says light's not an energy.
No, I didn't. I said it has zero charge. It's not negative. It's not positive. Light has zero charge, which is why it is unaffected by. Stop over talking me. Listen. Light has zero charge. It is not negative. It is not positive. It is not affected by electromagnetic properties because the charge of light is zero. I'm surprised, being an engineer, you don't know that.
No, dude. I'm about to take you home to... Hold on. You might be a little slow, so...
Wait, sorry. Are you trying to say that light has charge? Are you just trying to redefine physics?
Let me explain to you the rapid magnetic switching effect in lasers. Making a magnet from a piece of iron and a coil wire or another magnet is a simple experiment. An external electric or magnetic field can align groups of atoms into iron over time.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with light.
They're using lasers to fire at the iron to charge it. Genius?
Not.
That's the point.
No, you're not charging. Oh my goodness, you're not charging the right. Okay,
Yes.
what you're talking about is light pressure. You're not using charge to move the iron atoms. Light has zero charge. This is a fundamental property of physics.
Explain this to me, how physicists achieve rapid magnetic switching with lasers.
Because they can turn something on and off. Light has zero charge. It's honestly, this is a fundamental property of light. Right, you can use laser light to move things around, which can induce a magnetic field, but light itself has zero charge.
But it couldn't, dude.
Why not? So do you want to go and collect your Nobel Prize in physics for redefining what light is?
Okay, well, that depends on what type of laser you have and the actual type of magnetism.
Yeah, but light doesn't have a charge, so lasers don't make magnets.
Okay, light doesn't have charge. I guess plants just get, energy from nothing. Vitamin D doesn't come from...
Energy and charge are not the same thing.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. It's electron flooding.
Light is not electrons.
It does create electrons.
No, it doesn't. Oh my god, you are so fucking clueless. Light does not create electrons.
The way that... Oh, where is my pen? Oh, I lost it. But anyway, the way that you see the gravity or the rotation and everything was actually proven by this pendulum and this laser beam. Okay.
And the mechanical gyroscope, yeah. It matches all the predictions of all the models that we have. Your internet's cutting out again.
The actual rotation of the sun and the moon, and you're just taking it and putting it on the Earth.
No.
The box around.
There's no way, Trey, hold on. There's no way that a fiber optic gyroscope, a mechanical gyroscope, or a pendulum can react to what the sun and moon are doing?
Yes, it does.
In
It
what
clearly-
right? So how would a laser gyroscope react to it when it doesn't react to any electromagnetic fields and it cannot see? It cannot see outside of the thing. Sorry.
The silver is extremely reactive to the sun. So is gold. You can't use
And how is that affecting what is happening within the light?
because the earth is flat.
Silver
Yes.
is very weakly magnetic. It is not strong enough
It's
to
not
warp
magnetic,
the
it's
materials.
repellent magnets.
Yes,
I'm
that
telling
is.
you.
Oh my god, you fucking moron! Diamagnetism is still magnetism.
It's repellent to magnetism.
Yes,
It's not
that's
weak.
still magnetism, you dipshit.
No, you're insulting me because you can't.
No,
you
I'm not insulting you. You are a dipshit. That's a description.
You're just a believer in Satan.
I don't have that. No, I don't have any beliefs. Don't push your ignorant fairy tales onto me, please.
You're pushing your ignorant fucking globe on me, dude. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
I says the Dunning-Kruger expert there.
Explain to me how every single pendulum on Earth does the same thing regardless of what it's made of. That's what I want you to do.
Because of the Coriolis force.
Oh, you mean a fictitious force that isn't real? Okay.
Fictitious force doesn't mean it isn't real.
They do that to deceive people. NASA means to deceive in
No, it
Hebrew.
does not. No, it does not. NASA does not mean to
It
deceive in
does.
Hebrew. No, it
Okay.
doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Well, how is it spelled? It's Neshah. Is it not?
wait.
Is it not Neshah?
No, it's not. It's NASA.
What is it then?
It's NASA. There is no word in Hebrew for NASA. The closest is Nasha, which actually means
Nasha.
to lift up,
Nasha.
not to
Not a
deceive.
space agency.
What's an imaginary number? Do you know?
Zero. Zero is an imaginary number.
Fuck me, you're dense. Okay, so I've got a triangle of sides 1, 1, and 1. What are the internal angles?
33. What? What?
So what's 5 divided by 0?
5 divided by 0? It's
Mm-hmm.
5.
So you're saying 0 equals 1?
I don't care about your audience because they don't care about my message.
You don't have a message, you have dumbassery. So what's a shill? What's a shill?
A shill is anybody that is totally just built on letting the program run as long as possible.
That's not what a
Don't
shill
let
is. Did you just Dunning-Kruger a shill? Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
You're a jackass, dude.
Why? Because you don't like facts.
You lost
Because
all
I'm a
fucking
jackass
credit.
because you don't like maths and you can't do maths and you don't understand physics.
I've
that makes me a
explained
jackass?
20 reasons you can't even refuse.
You don't even know that light doesn't have a charge.
It does have a charge. How do you
Light does not have a charge, you moron.
explain ether? You can't.
The
without-
ether doesn't exist.
Yes, it does.
No, it does not. It was disproven with the Michelson-Morley experiment.
Never disproven because even Einstein says it still needed to be there.
Where did you go to college to get your engineering degree?
Actually, I went to tech school. So it wasn't like a big. It was a Wiregrass Technical Institute.
So not a degree then.
I did go. I mean, I paid enough attention to get through and get a job. But like
So
I
you
said,
don't have a degree in engineering?
Yeah, I do. I paid enough attention to retain the information.
So you don't have an actual degree then?
I told you I have a degree.
From a technical college?
Yes.
That you didn't pay much attention to. Brilliant.
We should just leave it at that. Because I'm not going to reach you. You're not going to reach me.
Yeah, you're too dumb to be reached, honestly.
You're too fucking much of an asshole and a retard to even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Dude,
All
you
just
wrote
like-
a bunch of, like, what you wrote on the board looked like a spider ran through some ink and had an epileptic fit. Alright?
You could.
None of that maths made any sense. You don't even know what you wrote on that board. You are not an engineer. You don't know applied mathematics. You don't know physics. You don't even understand the Bible.